Hello. Welcome to today's post. Let's get right into it, shall we? I had just received a note from Matt saying drink after work. I was giddy. My new life was beginning. My whole body felt exhilarated and free. Finally, I had told David what I had wanted to tell him for years. And finally, Matt and I were going to share what we had wanted to share for months. The afternoon couldn't go quick enough. We decided to meet at a certain bar close to the school. We did small chat and then Matt spilled his guts. This was the best day! Everything I wondered about what he felt and what he wanted to tell me all those months just came pouring out. What I had wondered for months was finally answered. Unfortunately, it was spring break and we're going to be away from each other for 10 days. Plus, he was still with his girlfriend and was in the process of deciding whether he wanted to stay with her or not. Ding ding. How did I spend my break? With Tony! After hearing of my breakup, Tony invited me to piano recitals, museums, foreign films, and again cooked dinner for me. We spent evening after evening with Ian and our other friend John jamming in the basement, Ian on the drums, Tony on the guitar, John on the bass, and me as lead vocals. Was this actually happening? Was this my life? I had never felt this way before. I could be myself. I could laugh as loud and silly as I wanted. David always told me to quiet down. People are going to think you're weird with your laugh. One night, Tony and I were alone. We had a bit to drink, a lot, and just laughed and sang the entire night. At one point, he pulled me up to dance with him and then stared really into my eyes and then kissed me. Oh, to feel passion again, to feel desired again, to feel feminine and womanly again by a man who enjoyed life as much as I did. This confirmed to me that I had done the right thing by leaving David. This is who Aaron was. This was the life I wanted to live for all those years. This was the kind of man I wanted to spend my time with. I was very honest that night and openly shared with Tony that there was possibly something happening between another man and myself. I just felt I had to be open. I never lied. I just can't. So spring break came and went and school was back in session, as was Matt's flirting. He came back and handed me a poem he had written about me, entitled Beautiful. I have never had anyone write something so deep and beautiful and powerful about me. My whole body felt full of everything good that I had ever yearned for. I remember feeling like life was like a lover for me. I was just going to have to settle. That was what I thought. That I was going to have to watch romantic movies to experience romance. But here I was, Aaron, receiving profound, loving attention from two wonderful men. Life was feeling incredible. Until the night the police had to come to my parents' home and arrest David. What do I want to comment on? Next video is going to be a doozy. But as for this one, I cannot, maybe you can see that when I'm reading this, I'm feeling it all over again. There was such a feeling of beingness in my body. There was such a knowingness of who I was. I began to get in touch with who I was, what I loved. I was even starting to dress a bit different because I felt beautiful. And it was amazing. I've never received poetry from anybody. That poem, unfortunately, I would love to read it to you, but out of respect for my husband, I just felt like me holding on to these things was not a good thing. And actually, not just for my husband, I have to say for myself, energetically, holding on to some of these things, attaching myself to them is not a good thing. So there are moments when I wish I would have kept them so that I could share them with you, but what am I going to do? At the time, I felt I needed release, and so I burned them. But wow, getting in touch with who you are is not even in touch, a knowingness of who you are is the key thing that I'm going to be focusing on the Elegant Life blog, because when you do, you walk through life being different, you do things that you never thought you could do, you inspire people with how you're living and who you are being, you come into relationships and your job, your business, your career in a completely different energy when you know and you love who you are. And this was my beginnings to realize, you know what? I love laughing. Yes, I have a loud laugh. Today, my kids laugh and mimic me slapping the table. Mommy laughs and slaps the table and snorts when she laughs. It's who I am. And you know what? Whatever, that's me. And I adore singing. And I promise you, I'm going to get on this blog and I am going to sing to you. And I'm going to play the piano for you. And I'm going to just express myself to you. And I'm not going to hold back anymore, because there's a period of time when I completely did, and I'm not doing it anymore. It is so important for us to live authentically. And we might push some people away, some people might fall away from our lives, but you know what? Then they're not meant to be in your life. So anyway, I could go off on a whole tangent here, but if you can see the excitement that comes from knowing, you know, I just want to share a little story. And if my friend, oh, I'm going to start crying now. If my friend Zainab is watching this video, girl, I know you're going through stuff right now, and this video is for you, because it is time for you to learn to love every bit of yourself, and you don't need anybody else to show you. Yes, there's nice times when people do, but you don't need anybody else. You got it here. And that essence, the divinity, loves you more than anybody could ever love you. And I want to share something that when I took Zainab to get a Charlotte Tilbury makeover in Covent Garden, she was on fire. She couldn't stop smiling. She kept saying how much she loved herself. She didn't need anybody else at that time. She was like, what do I need to do? Who do I need to be? I'm beautiful. I love myself. And this is what it is. Because once you start loving yourself, everything changes. I want you to continue this journey with me. Next week's is going to be tough. Or sorry, not next week. Tomorrow's is going to be tough. So again, bear with me if the tears flow. But after that, the journey just keeps growing in beauty and profoundness. And so I invite you, hang in there with me, because This is where the real elegance and the real magic starts happening. Okay? Mwah! I will see you tomorrow.